We're here at NBAA base in Orlando, Florida with a longtime friend and fellow aviator, Lou Seno. Lou is Chair Emeritus of JSSI, and we're going to talk about JSSI's business and expansion. Lou, welcome to BusinessAir TV.
Thank you, Lisa. Happy to be here.
So Lou, tell us a little bit about JSSI and the history of it.
I'd be happy to. Back in 1988, there was really only one engine OEM that offered an hourly cost maintenance program, and we decided to take that concept and expand it across all business models. And we launched the company in 1989, again doing virtually all the engines at that time that powered most of the business aviation fleet. And what I'm pretty proud of is we led some of the other OEMs into business, into this space, after we started our business. So it's kind of an interesting turn of events there. We added APUs a couple years later, and in '97 we trademarked the term tip to tail, where we do your airframe, engines, and APU.
So what is the benefit to the aircraft owner of an hourly cost maintenance program?
Flatlining your cost, budget stability. You pay us by the hour, and we take all the ups and downs out. We cover all unscheduled events, and so if something goes boom in the middle of the night, we take care of it. We have a staff of almost 100 now, technical advisors, highly skilled and highly trained people around the world that service the needs of our clients.
So, as I understand it, JSSI's hourly cost maintenance program is a transferable program for some airframes.
It's actually transferable on the engine side, the APU side, and the airframe side. And what we could do, we have the ability to do, is transfer from airplane brand A to airplane brand B. So if you're operating a Cessna product and you are upgrading to a Gulfstream, you could transfer your JSSI coverage from your Cessna to your new Gulfstream.
So in other words, we know it's a trade-up market, or sometimes a trade-down market, right? People change platforms today a little bit faster than they used to.
They do, absolutely.
So they don't lose the value of the program when they're making that switch.
That's absolutely correct. It goes with the airplane.
Awesome. So now JSSI has made some acquisitions in recent years and is expanding your product offering. Can you tell us about that?
Certainly. About 7 years ago, we took our JSSI purchasing department and expanded it to JSSI Parts and Leasing. We've grown that to a very large worldwide business where we supply parts, we do supply chain logistics, and we also lease engines and APUs.
Amazing. So now we're partnering on an interesting program with one of your recent acquisitions, Conklin de Decker. We know editorially in flying, sometimes it can be challenging to really analyze the numbers as it relates to performance for aircraft. So we've used Conklin de Decker to help us interpret the numbers because it provides us with third-party data that we sometimes can't always get ourselves. We have an interesting new program with you because we're offering for the flying reader the opportunity on the turbine side. We know how important performance data is as it relates to making a purchase decision of an airplane. And you know, actually, we're gonna cut that one. I'm gonna tell Rob that. I want to start that a little bit differently.
Go ahead. Okay.
Because I don't want to get into the weeds. I'd like you to talk about it a little bit.
All right. Okay.
Okay. So I'll talk about Conklin. I'll introduce Conklin de Decker, and then we'll talk about our partnership. So Lou, one of the other companies JSSI has acquired is Conklin de Decker. Can you tell us about what Conklin de Decker provides?
I'd be happy to. And by the way, Conklin de Decker has been around longer than JSSI. They were launched in 1985, and back then they started out doing operating economics for all business jets, and this was sort of pre-internet, and it was a paper book with paper revisions, and it's grown into what we call the Conklin de Decker report, and they do a number of other things, but this true specialty is operating costs for not only business aircraft, and that's why we think, Lisa, it's such a great fit with Conklin and de Decker and flying, because they do pistons.
Oh, that's great.
And so it works really well, I think. And I've been a flying reader almost since I learned how to read. And it's a great association because we read an article, and you've done great articles for years, written from a pilot's perspective on a particular airplane. And now your reader can go directly to Conklin and de Decker and truly see what it costs to operate that airplane.
And so this is what we're talking about, is a new partnership that we have with you on the platform. Obviously, when someone's looking at buying an airplane, they're dialing into performance specs, right? How important is that in the turbine market?
Oh, it's very important, and Conklin and de Decker does specialized outside consulting. You could start with the report, and then you could retain Conklin and de Decker to do a whole mission analysis. So it's the old, how far are you going? How many people are you taking with you? What is your mission? What airplane fits that mission? And then truly, what will it cost you to operate that airplane?
So as part of our partnership, we're offering our audience in the digital space the ability to both get initial performance data, but also a 1-week free access to the database.
Exactly. So what it will do is, if somebody's reading your article and there's an interest in that airplane, as you said, through our association, they can get online, I believe it's a 7-day trial, and they could then compare the airplane they read about in that article to other similar airplanes.
So a 7-day trial, and then they get a discount on the service as well.
They do. If they're in the early part of analyzing an acquisition, it's likely that they'll take the product for a year's subscription.
Yeah, very important, right? Again, for people that are interested in owning, operating an airplane of any value, but in terms of being able to get information that they need that helps them in the decision-making process.
Absolutely,
yeah.
Yes.
So going back to JSSI really quick.
Sure.
I know your company has a very large number of customers that you provide service for. How many airframe are in your fleet?
Yeah, right now we touch about 20% of the turbine-powered fleet, business aircraft fleet around the world.
And with your recent acquisitions of Traxall and Sierra Trax, that expands your ability to serve those customers, correct?
Correct. Yes, and we're combining those two entities, and we're forming JSSI maintenance software, and it's a great marriage. Sierra Trax has concentrated more on the owner-operator side and has a great product for that customer, and of course Traxall's been across the board. And we've inherited a great team from both companies, and happy they're all here at the show this week, which is really great.
So I know you're an entrepreneur. You've been one since the day you were born, in aviation especially. Are there more things we need to know about from JSSI and what's to come?
I would say this, we've always got some irons in the fire. I'm probably not at liberty to talk about them in this venue, but
we always try. We always try.
Thanks for trying, yes.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on BusinessAir TV.
Thank you, Lisa.
We greatly appreciate your time. We're going to let you get back to the show. I know it's busy.
Busy second day, yes, thank you.
Have a great show.